everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is June 7th. It's Wednesday. Finally no rain, which is a freaking nice thing. It's been raining for 4 straight days, so we finally had a day of no rain here. It is kind of overcast a little bit, in and out of the clouds, but it's not raining, so that is a good thing. I'm going to take you over here first, and I'm going to show you the garden. And the garden's doing well. Not having any problems with that. It's growing really, really nice. The tomatoes are coming along. And these in the front here, these are all the zucchini. Those are what's up here. And then the cucumbers are from here back. So the zucchini are really taking off. They're really doing well. I was going to take you over here real quick and show you that even after 4 days of rain, this whole area over here is still dry. So basically the flooding part of what we deal with, that's just a spring thing, because then at that point the ground is really saturated, and you have the snow melt, and then if you have you know, rain on top of it at that point, that's why we end up getting the flooding like we do. But other than that, it's just a dry area. So it's not swampy, thank goodness. But it's like I said, that's a spring thing. So we deal with it a little bit in the spring. I still want to put a culvert in front, but that, like I said, again, those are not priorities at the moment. So I wanted to talk to you today. The topic of today, we're going to talk about our water systems. And how safe are they? And even we can go with infrastructure as well, as far as you know, the electrical grid. We could talk about that a little bit too. We're going to start out talking about the water systems and how fragile and how easily, if somebody wanted to do us wrong, they could utilize putting some kind of poison into the water systems. Now I'm going to use Rochester as an example. Rochester has a reservoir in the middle of the city, up on a hill, and it's basically like a big pond. And it has a 6-foot high fence around it. That's it. That's it. That's the reservoir, okay? And that's for the city water. And, you know, they have the treatment plants and stuff like that as well, but, I mean, that's where they hold a lot of the water that people utilize for the city. And how difficult would it be for somebody who intended us to do us harm to get in there and put something in that water? Now, you're talking about maximum casualties doing something like that if they could poison the water, and you're talking about heavy casualties with something like that. And it's basically jumping the fence, pouring something into the water, and then off they go. I mean, you know, people wouldn't even know it, you know. And so the water systems are very, very fragile. They're very vulnerable. And the thing is, it's another reason why I say to make sure you have enough food and water on hand at your home. If there was a poisoning of the water system, now think about like a city the size of Rochester that has 1 million people in the surrounding area. Now you have 1 million people that all want water, but sure aren't going to drink any water out of the tap. They probably wouldn't even be boiling it because they would be afraid that it wouldn't be safe. So what are they going to do? They're going to hit every store, buy all the bottled water that they possibly can, all the water in jugs and stuff like that. But how long would that last? There's no way you would be able to keep up with the demand. So again, to my point of having water on hand, rotating your water, and you know, I mean, water is going to last. It's not going to go bad, okay? But you know, you should still, I would say, every 6 months rotate it out and just use it as a normal thing. Even if you're just pulling that water out of the tap and putting it in jugs or whatever you're putting it into, and then just rotate it. And that way, you know, it's in your normal drinking thing that you do every day, but then you're always keeping that water fresher, so that it's not 6 months old, you know. And just showing you the cats there. She'd come up with giving him some love. But so doing that it's again, you're hedging your bets once again. You're giving yourself that advantage. You're not going to panic and be like, oh my God, I got to get to the store to get water, because everybody else is going to be doing the same exact thing. So that's the whole thing with that. So that's something that I want you guys to think about, and that's really another great reason to have water on hand. But you know, if people want to do us harm, there's a lot of ways to do it, okay? And so that would definitely, the water systems, like I said, are very, very fragile. There's Maxie just chilling. The water systems are very, very fragile. So that's, you know, something that has to be taken into consideration. So then, on top of that, let's talk about the infrastructure with the electrical grid. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but probably some of you are not. There's 3 grids in the country. Texas has its own grid. We have the East Coast grid and the West Coast grid. Okay? That infrastructure is so fragile. Okay? So let's talk about, I'm going to talk about an event that happened a few years back, and I'm not even sure if a lot of people even knew this happened, because they didn't even talk about it. They didn't even release the information until like 6 or 7 months after it happened. Some individuals with high-powered rifles went to a substation, which basically, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, if you are traveling down the road, you'll see that little fenced-in area, and it's got all the transformers and all that type of stuff in an area. There's nobody there watching it. It's just there out in the middle of nowhere, but it's fenced in. Well, somebody sat outside the fence for 20 minutes and shot the transformers, shot everything, and they were able to divert the power so that particular area did not go down, okay? But they never caught who did it. And that person was there for 20 minutes just happily shooting away. So now let's talk about a coordinated attack of such a nature. If somebody really wanted to do harm again to us, you take the grid down, and if it was a coordinated attack and they were doing it in several different spots, and when I say several, I mean, you know, 20, 30 different spots, and hitting these substations, you're going to cause some havoc, you're going to cause some damage, and you're going to cause some power outages for quite a while, okay? And the longer that they can keep the power out, the more chaos is going to entail from that. So again, how safe are we? I mean, if you think about it, it's a very, very fragile thing. And needless to say, on top of that, our entire infrastructure as far as water, as far as the electrical grid, are so antiquated that it's ridiculous. It all needs to be completely redone and upgraded, but of course they're not going to do that because that would cost money. And it would cost a lot of money. Billions is what it would cost. And they're not going to put the money into that. So it's almost like they're sitting there hoping that it's going to stay okay, and then we'll just see what happens. A good you know, indication of that would be the dam out there in the Midwest that they had all the problems with this year. And you know, they had been saying for years that it needed to be upgraded, that it needed to be taken care of. Of course it wasn't. So then you wait for something to happen, and thank goodness it didn't burst. And you know, people, you know, just you know, they got lucky, okay? But the thing is, that could have been a lot worse of a situation, and now they have to fix things, which is going to, again, it's going to cost a lot of money. And who does the money ultimately get charged down to, okay? It gets charged down back to the taxpayers. I was talking to a buddy of mine in Rochester, and talking about, they had the power outages this year. Obviously, we had 3 of them up in this area, and there was a few down in Rochester as well. And so he was telling me that they are putting on, and I'm not even sure how long they're going to do it, but it's like a $2.95 charge on his gas and electric bill to pay for everything that happened when the grid went down there a couple times, okay? They're not paying that out of their pocket. It's going to come out of your pocket, you know? So again, ultimately, you pay, okay? So, and now I'm sure they'll find a way to make sure to keep that money in there for the long haul. But it's just like I said, guys, it's just, you know, it's pay, and they're not taking care of the things that they should be taking care of, and that's going to be deadly. It's going to come to a deadly consequence because of that at some point. There's going to become something is going to happen. And here's the thing. It's like the big transformers, the great big ones that they have. They take like 6 months to get one of them. They're not even made in the United States anymore. They're made overseas. And to get one of them, it takes 6 months to get it. And so what happens if there's some kind of coordinated attack and people went after those and took out a bunch of them? Okay, so think about that. I mean, they don't have a whole bunch of extra ones sitting around, trust me. They just don't. They may have one or two, but they sure don't have a whole bunch of them sitting around. So that's to me, that's kind of scary, okay? So like I said, I wanted to talk about this subject with you guys. I wanted to get your viewpoints on it, what you guys think, and you know, kind of go from there. You know, the system that we have is very, very fragile, and it's frightening. It really is. If you think about it, it's a real scary thing. So again, why not be proactive and get yourself squared away ahead of time? You know, I know everybody's not going to go solar, so I'm not talking so much about that, but you know, having that backup generator and having enough gas on hand to keep you going for a while, and you know, those type of things. You know, and if you can do solar, then do it. I mean, you can do it on a small scale. I mean, you don't have to do it on I mean, I consider myself still pretty small scale. You know, I'm working on it. But, you know, and again, it's not a cheap endeavor. Like anything else, it is not a cheap endeavor. So, but the thing is, for me, the biggest thing is they don't own me. And, you know, I'm independent. I never lost power this winter. I had no idea when other people lost power because we're independent. And that is a really, really awesome feeling. It really, truly is. So anyway, like, comment, share, hit the subscribe button on the video. Me and the kids on there, the little icon, if you like what we're doing. And, you know, I want to make you guys think. I want to have you guys process stuff in your mind and really think about different things. And if you do, it's kind of scary. And it hopefully gets you going and get you going with prepping. And here's the biggest thing with prepping: it is never too late to prep. It's never too late. If you say, "Oh my God, you know, I haven't prepped at all," you know, what do? You get started. And like I said, I've said it many, many times. If you have a 2-week supply of food and water, you are in better shape. The bugs are getting me today, guys. Sorry. You're in better shape than 95% of the people in this country. And that's just the truth. I mean, 95% of the people are not prepared for a 2-week disaster. So why not give yourself that advantage if you can? 2 weeks is not a lot of money to put towards, you know, food and water. It really, truly isn't, you know. And it just, you put it away and you forget about it. You know, that's the best thing about it. You know, freeze-dried food, that's the best way to go, to be honest with you, because it has a 30-year shelf life. And that you can pack away and not even think about again. You don't have to worry about rotating it and all those type of things. So anyway, I am going to jump off here for now. I want to do this video and you know, talk to you about these things and get your thoughts. Please share. You know, please let me know what you think. I love the interaction. Back and forth chatter is always awesome, and so that's what we're looking for. You know, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. So. Well, I'm going to get off here, so listen, hug and kiss the ones you love, tell them every day how you feel. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, we never know what's going to happen, okay? And that's real important, guys, it really, really is. The people know that you love them and that you care about them. It makes a big difference in their lives. And the other thing is STD, one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, you can reach them. You know, the only person that's going to hold you back is you. That's it. Nobody else can do it. So, you know, follow your dreams. And whatever they may be, it doesn't necessarily, like I've said before, it doesn't have to be prepping. It doesn't have to be living off grid. It can be whatever you're pursuing that people tell you you can't do. But if you follow your heart and you follow them dreams, you can do it. And here's the big thing too, guys. If you're unhappy in your situation, change your situation. Life is way too short to be unhappy. It really, truly is. And the only person that's going to change that is you. So do something about it, okay? I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. And I'll leave you with 3 of my cats just kind of chilling. Buddy just having a good time rolling around there.